140 crore dreams, one purpose, Viksit Bharat. A very warm good afternoon to everyone joining us here today for the Viksit Bharat Ambassador Campus Dialogue. To further the clarion call given by the Honorable Prime Minister himself, Shri Narendra Modi ji, to one and all to become Viksit Bharat Ambassadors. We are very pleased and honored to have in our midst Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman ji, the Honorable Union Minister of Finance and Corporate Affairs, Government of India. She was the first full-time woman Defence Minister of India in the earlier tenure of this government. She has always been a beacon of inspiration to women all across the country and a highly respected global leader. Thank you very much, ma'am, for joining us this afternoon. Another pioneer for the women folk in India, and joining us on the dais today, we have Srimati Ajanta Niyogji, the Finance Minister of Government of Assam. She has been elected 5 times by the people of the Golaghat constituency, showing the immense popularity that she has in her constituency. She is also serving as the first woman finance minister in the state of Assam. A very warm welcome, ma'am. May I please now request the director, Professor Rajiv Ahuja, the officiating director, IIT Guwahati, and also who holds the position of director, IIT Ropar, to felicitate our guests on the dais. Sir, may I please request you to also felicitate Srimati Ajanta Niyogji, please. On multiple occasions, our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji has remarked the pivotal role that Northeast will play towards India becoming Viksit Bharat by 2047. And it's truly very heartening to see 1,500 plus Viksit Bharat ambassadors sitting here in our midst. May I now request Director Sir to please welcome the gathering.
Now we can say that good afternoon actually, and welcome to all of you, and I'm very delighted to welcome ma'am, our Honorable Finance Minister, and also the Finance Minister of the Assam, and it's a great opportunity of all of us to listen to them and how the country is progressing in last 10 years. So I have seen India from outside because I'm living for last 32 years out of India. So the way India is progressing in last 10 years is tremendous. And it's also, you can see that the way we are progressing, and we are sure that we will make India as a Viksit Bharat. And the way India is gaining the respect, especially when I was living abroad, how people see in India people see India in a different way when I was there, when I started there in 92. So it's a great change, and it's a right moment, and I will say that this is an opportunity, we should grab it, and to make this Bharat is Viksit Bharat. And in the series of many different talks in this area, and we are very, I will say that we are very delighted actually that our finance minister has chosen to come to IIT Guwahati. And this is a lot of mean to all of us. So now you can hear ma'am directly, and I will not take much of the time between you and ma'am, and you came here to hear from her, and the way she is taking forward the country and setting up examples. In first, she has set up example in the area of defense when she was as a defense minister, now as a finance. So in both areas, we can see that the way she has handled the country is marvelous, and she is source of inspiration for all of us, and especially for our young minds, because they are going to take this India to the next 25 years, and they are also having the vision to how to make this country one of the best places in the world, and how we will be not only the Viksit Bharat, but we will also be a Vishwaguru. So I will stop here. Thank you all of you coming here, and I will like to thank all the administration here, the local government, and without their support this is not possible. We thank to DC ma'am, ADC ma'am, everybody. I cannot take all the names, and our staff and faculty and our students who are here, who work for this, and with their effort we are here, and this is going to be a great event which you will going to remember all your life. Thank you very much. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Thank you very much, sir, and thank you very much also for extending your warm hospitality to organize this event at your beautiful campus. If I may now please invite Srimati Ajanta Niyog ji to talk about Viksit Bharat and to share with us some of the monumental work that has been done in the state towards the same. Ma'am, if you please may join us on the dais.
Respected Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman ji, Director IIT, Additional Chief Secretary Government of Assam, Dr. Ravi Kota, senior officials from Government of Assam, faculty members, distinguished guests present here, guests on the dais, ladies and gentlemen, and my dear students. I stand before you today with great honor as the country is transforming through Amrit Kal to reap the fruits of Viksit Bharat, the next 25 years by 2047, as envisaged by our Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji. We all are eager to hear the valuable insights of our Honorable Union Finance Minister on Viksit Bharat vision, given her vast experience and unique distinction of having served the country. I thank Honorable Union Minister for unwavering support for the growth and development of our state and the entire Northeastern region as a whole. The benefits accrued to the state from this support in terms of infrastructure push, rural housing, women empowerment, greater participation of women in the workplace, in case of disaster mitigation, and support to the various externally aided projects have been immense. One of the pivotal aspects of Viksit Bharat is infrastructure development. Due to the speedy execution of various projects, we have been able to boost the economy of our state. Yesterday, Honorable Prime Minister laid foundation stone of about 27,000 crores in semiconductor plant to be set up by Tata Group in Jagirod in our state, along with 2 numbers of projects in Gujarat. This is the This is possible due to the belief and conviction of the government led by our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, who calls Northeastern region as the Ashtalakshmi and growth engine of Bharat. This vision of Viksit Assam could not be imagined in the past, and now we can say proudly and confidently, I can declare ourselves that Assam want to be one of the top 5 states in the country with complete peace and ecosystem in the making of growth and development. This is Viksit Assam, a part of Viksit Bharat, a collective aspiration, effort, collaboration, hard work, and unity of purpose. We have been taking several iconic projects in our states in various sectors like health, education, empowerment of women, and welfare measures in the interest of youth, women, farmers, and poor, that is Antyodaya, the last person in the society, under the able leadership of our dynamic Chief Minister, Dr. Himanta Biswa Sarma. We have tremendous faith in youngsters like you as the future of our nation, and we would like to create an ecosystem in our state where you can decide your future that is bright, assured, and sustainable. IIT Guwahati has created a good name for itself that has improved the image of Assam, and we are grateful for all those who made it possible. At last, my humble appeal to all of you, especially the youth fraternity, that you are fortunate enough to be the sons and daughters of Amrit Kal. So try to contribute yourself to the society. Try to contribute to the nation so that your nation can grow and fulfill the aspirations of the more than 100 crores of people of our country. And last, so we have to collectively contribute our nation, and that is nation first. With these few words, I conclude my speech. Thank you. Joy Ahom, Joy Bharat.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for reiterating the efforts the government is putting to create a supportive environment for the Yuva Shakti of Assam to realize their potential and play a pivotal role towards Viksit Bharat. I'm sure many of the students sitting here today since morning would have seen, Viksit Bharat Ambassador, which is there on the various signages and banners. You might be wondering, what is this Viksit Bharat Ambassador? How can I become one? What is the role that I would have to play? There must be many questions in your mind. So for that, I would like to invite Shri Hitesh Jain, senior lawyer and member of the core team of the Viksit Bharat Ambassador Program, to highlight that what is the Viksit Bharat Ambassador Program and what is the role that Viksit Bharat Ambassadors are to play. Sir, if you may please come to the stage.
Honorable Union Minister of Finance and Senior Bharatiya Janata Party leader, Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman ji, Srimati Ajanta Niyog ji, Minister of Finance, State of Assam, Professor Rajiv Ahuja, Director IIT Guwahati, ladies and gentlemen, and my dear friends. From the northern peaks to the southern shores, from the western desert to the eastern hills, and now here in this vibrant city of Guwahati, the Viksit Bharat Ambassador movement has transformed into a festival, a celebration of ambition and progress. This movement knows no boundaries. It thrives on the collective spirit and the determination of people from every corner of our country. Today, as we stand in the presence of future leaders like you and the spirited people of this city, I am here to extend invitation to each one of you to join us in the Viksit Bharat Ambassador Program, a journey which is not just across the physical landscape of India, but through the aspirations and dreams of 140 crore, which has only one purpose, that is the Viksit Bharat, which is the goal that has been set out by our Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi ji, to make India a Viksit Bharat by 2047. When we speak about Viksit Bharat, fine, the Prime Minister has set out the goal, the government will do the act, but are we going to achieve the Viksit Bharat in isolation, or are we going to be a part of this movement? Friends, as I mentioned to you, from north to south and from east to west and today in the northeast, I can see an excitement and people ready to take baton and participate in the largest public participation program, not only of the decade, but of this century, that is the Viksit Bharat Ambassador Program. Now, when we say about Viksit Bharat Ambassador, a Viksit Bharat Ambassador will lead by participation, will lead by example, and he will lead by context. Just to give you an example about how a person can lead by an example, I'm sure each one of you would have seen the images of the Honorable Prime Minister in the Kaziranga National Park or on the shores of Lakshadweep, when he sat on the chair on the shores of Lakshadweep, or when he was in the Kaziranga National Park. That is where he was promoting the tourism of Assam or the shores of Lakshadweep. And when you participate in program like this, and when each one of you, when you will visit such tourism places, and when you will encourage and you will demonstrate the places that you are visiting, you become a Viksit Bharat Ambassador. A Viksit Bharat Ambassador will also take a part in the Swachhata Abhiyan also, and lead by example and also lead by context. A Viksit Bharat Ambassador will also play his role as a proper tax-paying citizen and will also ensure that he will pay his taxes properly. There can be a long list of the participation which we can discuss. But I also want to give you the glimpse of Viksit Bharat and as to why we are encouraged to run this program. I just want to give you 3 data sets. I'm sure Madam will give you much more details when she will be speaking. But just imagine 3 data sets which are very important. In India, every week, there is one university that is being opened. In every week, we are opening one university that is being opened. In every 2 days, there is one new college that is being opened. And just to give you one more perspective and a data set, in 2014, if we have 350 startups, today we have 1,17,300 and more than that startups coming, which is creating opportunities. So my friends, this is a very encouraging data set and an invitation to participate and walk from shoulder to shoulder with the efforts of the government. My sincere request to each one of you will be, we are running this program through an app called Narendra Modi app, where we are running where we are sharing the details of the program. We will request you to please download the app. On the app, you can get the interesting data regarding the progress of the country. You can get the correct facts about different situations that are prevailing in the country and how the programs can be of benefit to each and every one of you. You can share the details, and when you share positive details and when you are a messenger of positivity, I'm sure it will create a lot of encouragement and excitement to participate in the Viksit Bharat Ambassador Program. So friends, thank you so much, and I wish you all the best, and please participate in the Viksit Bharat Ambassador Program and be a part of the history to make India a Viksit country by 2047. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir. When we've been traveling across various states and various cities, we see a lot of young people walk up to us and say that how can we contribute to national development? The Viksit Bharat Ambassador Program is your answer to that particular question. Be a part of the largest people-powered movement of this century. Now, for the moment that all of you have been waiting for, may I please request and invite our chief guest, Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman ji, to deliver the keynote address.
to this wonderful gathering, large gathering. Good afternoon. My respected colleague, Finance Minister of Assam, Srimati Ajanta Niyog, Director of IIT Guwahati, Professor Rajiv Ahuja, Viksit Bharat Ambassador Program Coordinator for Guwahati, Hitesh Jain, faculty officials, the Chief Secretary, the District Magistrate, officials, the faculty of IIT here, and also the students and some Kendriya Vidyalaya young students who have also chosen to participate today. I'm extremely happy to be here. Assam is a beautiful state. Northeast is a beautiful part of India. Whoever would not want to come here? So it's a brilliant opportunity each time for all of us to come here and be with you. And that's exactly what Prime Minister of India has done in the last 10 years. Can you guess as to how many times he's been to Northeast in the 10 years? Feel free, guess. 3 times. Somebody else? Anybody else? 18, 14, 12. It's a random guess that everybody is engaging in, which is fine, but then I'll tell you the fact. He's been here 65 times. In the last 10 years, Prime Minister Modi, 65 times. So you can work out roughly every 2 months he's here, right? So, if that is the Prime Minister and he shows by leadership what he would want to place as priority. Hitesh Jain, while talking, said, all of us will have to become ambassadors of Viksit Bharat. Ambassadors will become of something which we value, we respect, and that is why when he spoke, he said, ambassadors can become ambassadors for a cause, but what are ambassadors expected to do? They are expected to show by participating in wanting to become an ambassador and wanting to build the cause which they believe in. Now, the cause for which we are all here is to make India a developed country by 2047. That's why this Viksit Bharat, Viksit Bharat. It's nothing but we should be, by the time 100 years of independence from the British, 2047, we want India to be one of those developed countries of the world. And for that, we want to be ambassadors. Now, I referred to the point that Hitesh made while speaking. He said an ambassador can become an effective ambassador by either participating for that cause, in contributing, in participating, in building that cause up. Or you can take the example and take somebody's example, or you set an example of yourself because of some conduct. So the third is conduct. Participation, standing as an example, and then the conduct. So he said, before us you have the Prime Minister, and therefore we can do like the way he does. Participate in everything that you believe. You want the Northeast to be an engine of India's development and growth. To reach that developed goal, to become developed country, you want Northeast to be the engine of our growth. And therefore he believes in this place, he wants to come here. Even without coming here, he stays somewhere else, but makes sure investments happen in Northeast. And that is one example of yesterday, which the Honorable Finance Minister of Assam nicely quoted. Now, before I go on to talking about other things, what is it that which came to Assam yesterday? You're all students of IIT, you have students of Kendriya Vidyalaya who will also want to probably be part of them at least will want to be in IITs or anything else. What came yesterday is very different from all the investments made before. Why? Did it have more money than others? Money can come, big investments can come, big huge amounts can come. But what came yesterday is history. It's actually a big historical moment for the Northeast and in particular for Assam. See, what happens is when you're looking at development of a particular region or a particular state, you tend to think what are the natural advantages which exist there. And you again think about the source of raw material, the skilled labor, and therefore what is good here. So when you talk of Northeast, repeatedly you will get to hear of, there's a lot of limestone, so cement industry. There's a lot of bamboo, therefore bamboo processing, and so on. There's a lot of fruits, wonderful organically grown fruits, so fruits, or processing of fruits, or exporting of fruits. All that will have to happen, I'm not saying no. But what happened yesterday is something for which not just some states of India which are already well into industry, well into manufacturing, and therefore they'll vie to have them. But even some countries, other than leave some of the states in India, there are countries which long to have a part of that semiconductor value chain in their countries. But Assam got it. When many other states in India want semiconductors because they have the advantage of skilled manpower, already a lot of startups, already a lot of other ecosystem which is required for any one of those semiconductor ladder. Semiconductor, when you talk of semiconductor as one, but it has several steps in it. The initial stages and the advanced stage, in between you're also looking at chip manufacturing or assembly or testing or marketing or packaging. There are different stages in the production of semiconductors. So there are states which tell you, I have the natural ecosystem for it, come please set it up here. But even as we are doing it, a decision of the Honorable Prime Minister saying, why not one of the northeastern states go set it up in Assam, and the Tata Group has come to Assam to invest and set up a ATMP plant for semiconductor manufacturing, and that's why yesterday's decision is a historic moment for the Northeast. You had the most advanced. So the 65 visits to Assam is not just to tick a box saying, I've come. Every 2 months I plan to come, I've come. No, it's not that, just that. It's understanding what the youth of this area want. They're just not going to have to wait like many other states took years, decades to progress one step ahead. Northeast youth today have all the energy, all the skill set, all the communication ability, all the energy, and all the enthusiasm that sunrise sectors can provide us that require such young youth population. And therefore, there we go, the first major semiconductor manufacturing setup is being done in Assam. And that's why I said it's history. Now, if Prime Minister came 65 times, the entire cabinet and the Council of Ministers also never hesitated to come, each one carrying their own department's agenda, but come here to perform. Collectively, I'm not going to ask you to guess because it's a bit surprising number for me too, but 850 times ministers visited in the last 10 years. Council of Ministers, a month each minister has to come to Northeast. So either we go to Tripura or Nagaland or Arunachal and so on, but together all of us in the last 10 years have come 850 times. That shows the priority, that shows how we make sure that attention should be given to Northeast, the importance that Northeast has in the scheme of things, in our economy. And of course, data points, everybody is interested, so I will give you a lot of data points today. For the first time in 40 years, when in 2016, Honorable Prime Minister chaired the meeting of the Northeast Council, Prime Minister chairing the Northeast Council has happened in 2016 for the first time after a wait of 40 years. So these points prove to you that the Northeast receives the long overdue attention from Prime Minister and the entire Council of Ministers. So repeatedly I'm giving you data only to reinfuse that point that Northeast has to now not just catch up, but go fast on this route of building India. Many firsts have happened in the last 10 years for the Northeast. I want to just put it all before you because it gives you at one go what this region has achieved, which it couldn't achieve prior to 10 years ago. It achieved in trickles, whereas what it has achieved in the 10 years is remarkable. And therefore, I list it out for you, even if you think I'm just crowing about what had been achieved. It is important for us to know it. Why? If you're going to have to believe in the Northeast, if you're going to have to believe that Northeast will not be neglected, and if you're going to have to believe that Northeast, if not neglected, will contribute as an engine to India's growth aspirations, and it'll be the engine which will lead us to 2047, the developed India 2047, you should know in 10 years what's been achieved. And then you have the confidence, the faith, and then is when you will be able to say, yes, I believe we can make it, we can reach Viksit Bharat, and therefore I am an ambassador, and this is what I'm going to contribute, whatever you choose to contribute. So the list of what had happened in 10 years is quickly being recalled so that all of us understand where we are. You're okay with me in English, or you want me to take a chance, make me speak in Hindi? English is all right? Or entertainment in the name of my Hindi? My Hindi is no good. But if you're all right with English, we can quickly carry on. Okay? I can't speak Ahomia, so at least be indulgent that you'll allow me to speak in English. Okay? No response. Yes for what? English. All right. Now, broad gauge trains reached Manipur, Mizoram, Meghalaya, Arunachal Pradesh and Tripura for the first time in the last 10 years. Meaning 70 years went by, broad gauge trains reached in the last 10 years. Goods trains reached Manipur for the first time in 2022. Electric trains reached Meghalaya for the first time in 2023. Nagaland got its first railway station after independence. You heard that? After independence, Nagaland got its first railway station. Sikkim and Arunachal Pradesh were connected to air services for the first time. Nagaland got its first ever medical college in 2023. And Northeast got its first AIIMS in Guwahati in April 2023. India's first ever national level sports university was set up in Manipur in 2018. Northeast first ship repair facility is being developed through Hooghly Kochi Shipyard Limited, HCSL, at Pandu Port in Guwahati, and that is along the river Brahmaputra. Ship repair facility. You would think only ports which are on the sea coast will have it, but when you have inland waterways developing rapidly in this country, you need that as well, and that is being set up in Guwahati or in Assam. India's first international multimodal logistics park is coming up in Jogi Gopa in Assam. India's first Gati Shakti Research Chair. You know, so much is being spoken, researched into, data is being generated out of PM Gati Shakti. It's a beautifully designed app through which you're able to get several filters play through and tell us which is the most effective way of handling any one common resource, around which, if logistics is improved, we will have better connectivity and better realization of value for money. And that is PM Gati Shakti. Now, research chairs are being established. The first such research chair in PM Gati Shakti is being established in IIM Shillong. 23rd February 2024, there was an announcement made. That will facilitate research and development and also innovation in logistics capacity of the country. So startups, whoever is present here, please understand that on logistics, there's so much that you can innovate and do for the country, which is established in Shillong. Border villages. I want to speak about border villages for a moment because most of the Northeast states have international border. Those villages in the border areas, in the international border areas, are critical because they are the eyes and ears of the country. If people living there are not going to be able to get information or see what's happening and convey it in time, any amount of smart intelligence cannot help the country. And that is why you need villages in the border areas to be developed. But I'm sorry to have to politicize this. For a minute, I want to say how 10 wonderful years were lost without developing the border villages. The belief of the earlier government for 10 long years, and I'm not saying it out of any kind of inference that I've made. I'll give you a quote from the defense minister who during that time had said, we don't believe in developing the border villages because more the development, it will be easy for the enemy to access us. They looked at it from that point of view, rather than looking at it from the point of view of if people in those villages have to live there, being our eyes and ears, you need to give them every connectivity that you can, whether it is road or by air or even telephone connectivity. So Prime Minister Modi said he looks at those villages as the first villages because they are the point of entry through coming into India, and made sure that money will be spent to develop them. He named the whole program Vibrant Village Program. And as a result, 4,800 crores in our budget between 22, 23 and 25 and 26 have been allotted. Villages are getting connected and all kinds of facilities are being now provided to those border villages. I also do a complete review, both physical and also looking at from our office based on data. So the review shows us that those villages which have been waiting for such facilities are getting it now. Delayed projects is one thing which Northeast suffered from, and more importantly, India's image for any investor who came from abroad was affected by the image that India doesn't complete its projects on time. You lay the foundation stone and forget it. Or you lay the foundation stone and give not adequate money, but keep saying that the project is ongoing. Whereas what Prime Minister Modi has given as a thumb rule to all of us is we should be a government which lays the foundation as much as inaugurates the project. So you cannot afford to have projects going unendingly. Northeast benefited by that thumb rule. Several projects which waited for decades have been completed. I'll just very quickly tell you which are those. After 16 years of wait, the Bogibeel Bridge in Assam was inaugurated in 2018 by Prime Minister. The Dola Sadia Bridge called Bhupen Hazarika Setu, just as this hall is named after the great son of Assam, Bhupen Hazarika, that Setu is also named after Bhupen Hazarika. Dola Sadia Bridge was inaugurated in 2017. 14 years of wait, and after 14 years you got that bridge as well. Now, record time we are completing many projects, and the others are Sela Tunnel, completed in 5 years, Subroom Land Port Project in Tripura, completed in 3 years, AIMS Guwahati, completed in 6 years, Arunachal Pradesh's Greenfield Airport in Doni Polu Airport Itanagar was completed in 4 years. So project completion, well within reasonable time, has been the hallmark of Prime Minister Modi's administration. Connectivity in underrepresented areas. Just look at the budget, 2009 to 2014. 5 years for projects of railway infrastructure. 2,122 crores was given during that period. Whereas between 24-25, the amount allocated is 10,369 crores, and that is for railway budget. Around 2,000 kilometers of new railway lines have been laid since 2014 only in the Northeast. Roads, over 46,296 kilometers of rural roads were completed under PM Gram Sadak Yojana with an expenditure of 47,000 crores. I want this underlined because rural connectivity in the rest of the country is one thing, whereas rural connectivity in the Northeast is another. Because of the terrain, because of its topography, connectivity between one village to another involves a lot more work and probably even a lot more distance. But that is why the distance which was covered in the last 10 years under Prime Minister Modi is 46,296 kilometers. Until 2014, only 10,000 kilometers of national highways were constructed in the Northeast. That is over 7 decades, only 10,000 kilometers. Whereas in the last 10 years, 6,000 kilometers have been completed in the Northeast only. So 10,000 kilometers took 67 years, 6,000 kilometers took just 10 years. Until 2014, there was only one inland waterways. Now there are 20 waterways just in the Northeast. 20 waterways. Over 1,000 crores have been spent on this. Now on airways, very quickly, all 8 states of the Northeast have air connectivity. The number of airports in the Northeast is now increased to 17. I'm talking of 2023. It was only 9 till 2014. Now it is 17. And 17, from among them, you have 3 international airports as well. Northeast and its climatical condition is very conducive to strengthen the edible oil mission in India. You know, we spend a lot of money, foreign exchange, by importing crude oil to run our vehicles, the cars and the trains and the buses and everything else. That is import of fossil fuel. And that oil goes for our mobility. But we also import oil which is edible. India doesn't produce enough oil seeds. As a result, we import a lot of oil, particularly palm oil. And the palm oil comes from the Southeast Asian countries like Indonesia, Malaysia, and so on. Huge amounts of foreign exchange are paid out because we need to import edible oil. But we saw a potential in the Northeast, and therefore the National Mission for Edible Oil has set up a palm oil mission for the Northeast, and today the cultivation of palm, edible oil palm, has gone up by 700% to 3.4 lakh hectares in the Northeast, growing only oil palm trees. And this will reduce, obviously, our import bills. As of 9th March, PM inaugurated the first oil mill for extraction of palm oil in the Northeast. So you're not just growing the palm and sending off the palm fruits to some other area so that they can extract the oil, but the mills are also being set up in the Northeast so that the oil palm can be extracted for edible oil making, thereby creating jobs, thereby giving value for the product here, and thereby your ecosystem will now become well entrenched in the value system, value chain itself. So that is a very well thought out program. Start the plantation, give the farmers the benefit, give them good assured market, take the oil berries and produce the oil also from the Northeast rather than spend on the logistics and send the fruits somewhere else, but create jobs here. I think that's a very strong mission statement for the Northeast, which is Government of India's making. Similarly is the National Bamboo Mission, which has given a lot of impetus for sustainability related goals. You're able to produce a lot of Northeast bamboo related products. Today it's becoming a cult all over the world that you don't need to use paper, you don't need to use plastic. Here comes bamboo, which can be a perfect substitute for many of our uses, daily usage. I'll again go back to emphasizing how Government of India under Prime Minister Modi brings Northeast back to every picture that we do. The G20 was held in India for India's presidency. We held it all over the country. 20 or more than 20 events were held only in the Northeast, so that the ministers who came to attend went to different parts of the Northeast, saw the region, held their meetings and went back. So now Northeast could showcase all its products during the G20 summit. That way you're able to see that you're very much in touch with the international market and also showcasing all the wonderful products that you produce here. All this requires financial support. Government of India has made sure that Northeast benefits from everything that we do. I just want to highlight that 25,312 crores have been provided in the name of special assistance to the states for 50 years as an amount given to the Northeast without interest and no repayment till 50 years. You can use them for creating assets in the Northeast. Build your roads, build your buildings such as the secretariat or office space, or some of the small projects which are so required in the rural areas. 25,000 crores, over 25,000 crores have been given to the Northeast. Similarly, in the name of PM Divine program, which creates livelihoods, 6,600 crores is the outlay given for projects which can create jobs in Northeast, and that is specifically for Northeastern states. So PM development and infrastructure monies for the Northeast has been called PM Divine. All of you would have heard about GST, the goods and services tax, an indirect tax which is levied all over the country. It's the same rate decided by the GST Council, in which finance ministers from all over the states sit and decide as to what the rate should be. The biggest beneficiary of the GST, after the introduction of the GST, the biggest beneficiary is the northeastern states. You get such revenue. You get such revenue from the GST, it is unbelievable that the northeastern states, which otherwise suffer because industries don't come to set up their activities here, today are benefiting from the collections of the GST. I'll just give you a number on it. The compound annual GST revenue growth is 27.5%. since the implementation of the GST in 2017-18 till today, that is, what was it before the GST? The compound annual rate of growth, 14.8%. Where is 14.8%? Where is 27.5%? That's the increase in the indirect tax revenue collection because of GST that every one of these northeastern states are benefiting from, which means more money in the hands of the government, more money for developmental and also welfare activities. We've been talking about industries coming and investing here. Assam's first methanol plant with a 1,600 crore investment has been inaugurated in April 2023 by Prime Minister, and it's already starting exporting of methanol to Bangladesh and to Nepal. When I say this, I want to underline the fact that when Northeast develops, when industries set up business here, they can aim to have a market which the rest of the country cannot because of the very presence in the Northeast and the access and nearness to the entire Southeast Asian nations. Starting from Myanmar, Malaysia, Singapore, Thailand, Cambodia, Laos, Vietnam are all accessible for you in the Northeast. And therefore, any industry set up here doesn't have to look anywhere else for market. You're able to set it up and sell to the neighboring countries. And that is where this methanol export is happening to Bangladesh and Nepal. I spoke about the semiconductors. Similarly, I can also talk about the recently approved Uttar Purva Transformative Industrialization Scheme called the Unnati Scheme, with which a lot of assistance is being given, starting to be given from now for industries which will be set up in the Northeast. Prime Minister also laid the foundation for 7 cancer hospitals in Assam itself. And I think this step forward will make Assam a medical hub in the sense for medical treatment. Entire Southeast Asia and our immediate neighbors can all benefit from the network of hospitals which Government of India is setting up in Assam. For instance, this network of hospitals being set up, the foundation has been laid. We'll have 7 major cancer treatment hospitals, and they will be in Dhubri, Nalbari, Golpara, Nagaon, Sivsagar, Tinsukia, and Golaghat. So you will have well-established cancer hospitals in these towns. Also, for the education sector, since I'm in the IIT, since I have students before me, I wish to say this: 21,000 crores have been spent for education in the Northeast. And so what does this 21,000 crore give us? 843 schools have been established, 25 lakh teachers have been trained and upskilled. Not just that, these two are important component of this money which is spent. To promote higher education, 8 new medical colleges, 2 new IITs, and the IITs are triple IITs, which are in Manipur and Tripura, 1 new IIMC in Mizoram, 1 new AIIMS in Assam, and 1 new sports university in Manipur are being set up. Doing all this, did we forget the poorest of the poor in the Northeast? No. 80.36 lakh people in Assam alone have been uplifted from poverty, and poverty has seen a steep decline in Assam. And this is a data which Niti Aayog has recently published, talking about multi-dimensional poverty index. Just in Assam, over 80.36 lakh people have been lifted out of desperation and poverty. Assam has also given emphasis for training women in the rural areas for technology-related matters, that they are now becoming drone didis in the villages. They are going to be operating drones, and training has been given to them. 8.72 lakh drone didis are in Assam. So if you are ambassadors of Viksit Bharat, go to the villages and search for these didis who can operate drones. And why do they operate drones? They can spray fertilizers onto the field. They can make a crop density analysis. They can also become a part of those who assess the real-time crops which will come out of these fields, and so on. So in the process, they are also going to be paid better, earning better, and living better. So I won't go more with data. I wanted to highlight the fact that Northeast in every aspect is being taken care of. More can be done. But since these many things have happened, giving us hope that we are not going to waste time in reaching development to the Northeast, we would want all that has been achieved to be spoken, to be discussed, to become a part of a dialogue which all of you all should engage in. So Viksit Bharat ambassadors that you will become, please not only look at the data, but when you meet with people, speak about what has happened in the Northeast in the last 10 years. Talk to your parents, your friends, your relatives. You'll know that the pace at which Northeast is moving today is like never before. You will talk to them and know that this kind of emphasis for Northeast has been never given. And therefore, as ambassadors working towards a developed India, I would request each one of you to look at these data, look at the reality in the villages, talk to the didis in the self-help groups, look at all those hospitals being set up, institutions of higher learning being set up, talk to all of them, and carry the message forward so that you will see a better India, a developed India, when you are going to be in your middle age by 2047. Many of the school children will probably be in their peak productive years. A developed India is what we owe to each one of us. So I call upon all of you all to make sure that you spread the message of hope. If this can happen in 10 years, we can do a lot more towards 2047 so that you can live in a happy, proud, developed India. Thank you for giving me this opportunity.
The Honorable Prime Minister very confidently stated in one of his addresses in 2016 that it is my conviction to bring Northeast at par with other developed regions of this country. The figures and nuanced work highlighted by ma'am is clear evidence of the work done towards fulfillment of that commitment. Thank you very much, ma'am, for that very impactful and powerful address. Now, if we could have the question and answers, there are certain questions of the students that have been selected. I'm going to be announcing the names of the students, so if you may stand and please ask your question for the interactive question and answer round. Could we first have the question by Mr. Arjav Sethi? Arjav Sethi, are you here with us? Right there at the back, please.
You should have people with the mics.
Good afternoon, ma'am. My name is Arjav Sethi, and I'm a sophomore in IIT Guwahati pursuing my bachelor's in technology from electronics and electrical engineering. My question to you today is that whenever a budget for a year is announced, there are tremendous changes in the stock market. So how does a seasoned lawmaker like yourself deal with that pressure and those changes? Thank you.
It can sort of indicate the moods in the market, but the stock market does its job, I do my job.
Can we have the next question, please? Ms. Soumya Tripathi.
Ma'am, can I have a question?
Can we have Ms. Soumya Tripathi? There was a question submitted by Ms. Soumya Tripathi. And can we please have some more mics, please, in the audience?
Good afternoon, ma'am. This is Soumya Tripathi, and my question to you is, how does the new budget prioritizes and encourages the contribution of women in the Indian economics?
This budget, of course, was a vote on account.
Yes, ma'am.
But till before this one, every budget had something or the other in the name of making sure that women have greater participation in the economy. One thing, we gave a better rate of interest for the fixed deposits that women might put in the name of Samman Nidhi, Bachat Patra, Mahila Samman Bachat Patra. That's one thing I can think of straight away. Other than that, I mentioned about the drone Didis, which Prime Minister thinks will make the women in the rural areas more empowered. SHG groups have been given greater corpus funds. They've also been linked up with the ONDC, which is the Open Network for Digital Commerce, so that they can market their products to a wider reach. Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao is a big program of the government, so that women are given sense of security, and they can, their children who are girl children are given education. Poshan Abhiyan is a big thing that we do for women. One very important thing is women have now been given 6 months, where it was only 4 weeks, I think. Now they get 26 weeks of maternity leave, paid maternity leave. 6 full months they're given time to be with the child and to take care of the newborn child. So there are many such steps which I can tell you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. That showcases the commitment of this government towards women empowerment. The next question by Ms. Shreya Sen. Ms. Shreya Sen, can we have the next question, please?
Hello. Ma'am, may I have the question? I'm a lecturer from Royal Global University. Ma'am, I have a question from our Finance Minister.
Is that Shreya Sen?
No, that is not Shreya Sen. Ma'am, the next question is by Ms. Shreya Sen. She had submitted her question earlier. Ms. Shreya Sen, can we please have you? Can I please request for some more mics to be in the audience so that we can move a little quicker with the audience question answer?
Good afternoon, ma'am. I am Shreya Sen, a BTech second year student of Mechanical Engineering. My question to you is, how do you handle and learn from your failures when when you are just feeling like giving up?
Of course, you'll think it is easy for me to say it at this stage. Please sit down.
Thank you.
I don't want failures to be so putting us down. This is something I think all students may want to listen to her question, and also whether it's a worth subject to discuss. I think all of you all should apply your mind. A failure is not the end of the story. It actually leads to better prospects later because you learn from your mistakes. So I think it's very important to put failure also in its context rather than overplay on failure. You should apply your mind to what caused it, but don't get numbed by it or don't get really bogged down by it. Failure gives you a very valuable lesson so that you don't repeat the mistakes, but you can always be a better individual for that.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Shreya. Okay, the next question by Ms. Vishakha Chaudhary. And we'll be taking the next question by Mr. Aryan Agarwal, so if you could stand up as well. So first by Ms. Vishakha Chaudhary, please. If you could please stand up.
Yeah, I am here.
Good afternoon, ma'am. I am Vishakha Chaudhary, a sophomore at IIT Guwahati. So my question to you is that with the increasing focus on renewable energy, what steps is the government taking to attract investments in green sector and ensure a smooth transition to sustainable economy?
Thank you for that question. Please sit down. Renewable energy is a big commitment by with Government of India. We have spent considerable time making favorable policies, giving fiscal concessions, and inviting foreign direct investment into this area. Our solar is one of the biggest things. You find large solar parks in Western India and Southern India. You also have a lot of investment now into the hydrogen mission. I understand your director is a specialist in that area. Hydrogen today also has big challenges in terms of how do we store the energy which we produce. Green ammonia is also a big investment area in which we are drawing a lot of interest from investors who are coming from abroad. So the emphasis that we're giving by also blending ethanol to the crude oil that we have, we've now also like the International Solar Alliance, which we've had with very many countries which are in that belt which get 24/7 sunlight, meaning in one country during the daytime you are able to produce solar power. Similarly, as you go further, the other countries who later become daylight times, they produce this. So the International Solar Alliance is something which Honorable Prime Minister formed, and today there are so many countries which have come into it. So the emphasis on renewable energy is very high for this government.
Thank you, ma'am. And now for the last question, if we could have Mr. Aryan Agarwal.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Myself, Aryan Agarwal. My question to you is, many major economies are politically unstable and saturated employment-wise. What can be done in order to make India superpower in the next decade?
That's why I want you to be the ambassador of the Viksit Bharat movement. Come join, speak about it.
Thank you very much. That brings us, due to the paucity of time, that brings us to the end of the question answer.
Ma'am, just 1 minute. There was that lady who kept asking if she could ask a question.
Yes, yes, sure, ma'am. If a mic could be given, please. Yes.
Hello. Good afternoon, madam. I'm a lecturer working on my PhD thesis, and somewhere or the other it's related to my study area. Ma'am, I just wanted to ask, like recently we have heard that a vast majority of UK and other first world-based companies have started a 4 days work week, right? So ma'am, in India, like we are far away from this. So firstly, like banking sector have been justifying demand that 5 days work week, which is yet to be accepted by the parliament.
What's your thesis on?
Ma'am, it's somewhere related to work-life balance.
Can you name your thesis, please?
Ma'am?
What's the title of your thesis?
The topic.
Ma'am, a topic I think I should not reveal yet, is not completed and halfway done.
1 minute.
Yes, ma'am.
I've also registered myself and done half PhD.
Ma'am, it's like...
1 minute. Ma'am, 1 minute.
Yes, ma'am.
In a university which is in Delhi, I didn't finish my thesis at all.
Yes, ma'am.
I didn't complete it. I didn't get my degree. But I never would hesitate to say my topic. Okay. Because that's a motivational thing for many others. And I'm sure you have seen many students being enthusiastic by you revealing your topic. It's not a state secret.
Yeah, ma'am.
I love to hear your topic, please.
So, ma'am, my topic of thesis is role of sports in work-life balance, in which one of the sector that I have chosen is banking sector.
Sports, work-life balance?
Yes, yes, ma'am. So my question...
Which is the university you have registered yourself in?
Ma'am, I am from Royal Global University, Guwahati.
I see.
Yeah. So my first question was related to work-life balance and 5 days working for banking sector, which is just the rumor is going on.
No, wait a minute. You're a PhD student, you won't depend on rumors, ma'am.
Yeah,
You'll either depend on first, direct source for research, or secondary source for research. Don't go by rumors.
Okay. So, ma'am, what's your stand on this?
I don't go by rumors, ma'am. Thank you.
Ma'am, I have heard this in news also going on.
Ma'am, please, I think let's not engage in cross-questioning. So there is one more surprise that I think will make the occasion very memorable. So if I may invite our chief guest to distribute the Chandrayaan 3 models to our school students who are joining us here today. So I'm going to announce the names of the schools as well as the students. If you can join us on stage and please receive the models. The first school is Satgaon High School. We are joined by the principal, Mr. Dhiren Datta. The students joining us are Arihona Saikya, Angel God, Kasturi Kashyap and Nupur Teron. If you could please come quickly on stage, please. I'm also announcing the next school so that you can line up quickly. We have Rajdhar Bora Higher Secondary School. The principal is Shri Jayanta Patgiri. The students joining us are Mehfooza Sahana, Jimmy Sarma, June Ahmad, Vishesh Das, Kalyan Mahata and Momi Das. Rajdhar Bora Higher Secondary School, if you can please quickly come up to the stage. The third school, if you could please line up, Arya Vidyapeeth, the principal Mr. Samsuddin Ahmed. The students' names are Ruchita Chetri, Brishti Rabha, Shantana Alam and Jasmita Kalita.
प्लास्टिक में से निकालना.
It's a wonderful milestone that the students are taking back to their school of a historical moment. If the next set of students could please come onto the stage. You may exit from your left, please. The next set of students, if we could have you on stage, please. If we could have Palasbari High School line up as well. The principal, Mr. Khagen Medi, the students, Raj Pratim Barua, Deepanita Sharma, Vicky Raj Thakuria. Can we have the next students, please, on stage? Please, please. The next school to line up, Kendriya Vidyalaya, IIT Guwahati, the principal, Shri Vivek Kumar, The students joining us from the school, Vaishnavi Tripathi, Mahua Bhattacharji and Anuradha P. Iyer. Can we have Kendriya Vidyalaya, IIT Guwahati, please? Please, please. If the next school could line up, please. PM Shri KV Khanapara, the principal, Shri Purushottam Sinha ji, the students Ritapurna Roy, Prachi Payeng, and Anandita Sakya. If we could have you please line up near the stage. The last institution, if you could please queue up as well near the stage, Government ITI for Women, Reha Bari, the in charge, Mr. Kaushik Kalita, and the students, Ankita Kalyata, Dimpi Kashyap, Rupama, Sushmita Raba, and Jyotismita Kalita. I think we have one more institution to go. If you can join us on stage, please. Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you very much to the dignitaries on stage. With that, we come to the end of this wonderful campus dialogue, the Viksit Bharat Ambassador Campus Dialogue at IIT Guwahati. We are so very grateful to you, ma'am, for taking out the time from your busy schedule and joining us this afternoon. Thank you very much, Ajanta, ma'am, for taking out the time and joining us today. A very big thank you to Director, sir, for extending this lovely hospitality at the beautiful campus of IIT Guwahati. A big thank you to all the students who have joined us here today in large numbers and have pledged their support to become Viksit Bharat ambassadors and a part of the largest Jan Bhagidari movement of this country in this century today. Thank you very much, everybody. A very good afternoon and have a lovely day.